What's up guys, I am BlackOpsAmazing. Welcome back to another zombies video on the channel, back with another Q&A where we take your questions from the comment section below to do with the zombie storyline, Easter eggs and much more, and we answer them. So as always, if you enjoyed today's video, a like rating would be appreciated if you want to. If not, it's fine, it's up to you guys. Make sure you are also subscribed to stay up to date with the latest content on the channel, and also click that bell notification icon as well. But without all that away, let's get into it. Here we go. So the first question of the day from J. Bruce says, what would be your favourite map on Black Ops 4? For me, it would be Classified. Love your channel. Good luck. I mean, I think when the game comes out, you're probably gonna change your mind. I don't really know too many people who like 5. Yes, it was a cool concept, but it wasn't a fun map to play, especially for me. And actually, I am not looking forward to playing Classified. I hated playing 5. I generally do think it is one of the worst maps. However, on Black Ops 4, with the 3-hit system, whereas on Black Ops 1 we only had 2 hits, I do think it will be a lot easier, so I might end up liking it more than I did originally. And obviously this time in Classified for BO4, we are playing as the Ultimus characters instead of the original crew, who was JFK, Castro, McNamara and Nixon. I don't know if it's going to be an exact remake besides from that change, or if there's going to be, you know, slightly different changes to the layout. Maybe more rooms are open, I'm not sure. But I didn't like the original 5. I hate coming back to play it now, and I'm really not looking forward to playing it on Black Ops 4. Luckily enough though, there are also 3 other maps, which are Blood of the Dead, 9 and Voyage of Despair. I am looking forward to Blood of the Dead, but because we've basically played it before, yes, there are new areas. The map that I'm most excited for is actually Voyage of Despair. I do think 9 looks good, and a lot of people seem to be disregarding that map for some reason, when they're both as important as the other. But just because I like maps based off real life things and places, that's why I like Dear Eyes and Draka so much, or Mob of the Dead. Because Voyage of Despair is based off the Titanic, it looks freaking cool. I think that's going to be my favourite map, or at least that's the one I'm most looking forward to, but we don't know when they come out. It may turn out that Classified is actually the best one out of the bunch, but I'm most looking forward to Voyage of Despair. However, they all look really interesting. I just wanted to quickly say this because a lot of people always ask me in the comment section. This person, along with tons of other people, always ask me what is my intro song. It is Paint It Black. It was actually the theme song for Black Ops 3. I was thinking for Black Ops 4 maybe I should get a new intro with a new theme song. I'm not really sure on that because, well, I do like this one I've got now, but I did used to change it every couple of years. Or I've actually even thought maybe I should just completely get rid of the intro, but I don't know, I like it. Let me know what you guys think I should do. But yeah, the theme song, or the intro song, is called Paint It Black. 12 Gaming God 34 says, will there be a super Easter egg in Black Ops 4? So the last time we had a proper super Easter egg was in Black Ops 2. However, we did also have one in Black Ops 3, but it wasn't like the one in BO2. It wasn't very important. It wasn't something you had to do. Basically, if you don't know what a super Easter egg is, say for example we have 4 maps throughout our zombie season. If you complete the Easter eggs on those first 3 maps, and then once you complete the Easter egg on the 4th final map, the super Easter egg will be activated. So it's basically a larger Easter egg that you get for completing all of the previous Easter eggs. On Black Ops 2 Zombies, there was 2 different sides to each Easter egg, the Maxis side and the Richtofen side. If you completed Richtofen's quests on Tranzit, Die Rise and Buried, well, the super Easter egg would then be activated and the overall ending for Buried would be for Richtofen. Whereas if you did all of the quests for Maxis on Transit, Die Rise and Buried, then the super Easter egg, the overall ending would be for Maxis. But what you may not know is we actually also had super Easter eggs on Black Ops 3. If you completed all of the Easter eggs on all of the maps, Shadows of Evil, The Giant, Dryzen Draka, Zetsubo Gorod Kurovi and Revelations, then the super Easter egg would be activated and you'd get some abilities that otherwise you wouldn't be able to have. First off, if you complete all of the Easter eggs on Revelations, if you do a few steps with a Wisp, you can actually end up getting every weapon out of the mystery box already pack-a-punched. Not only that though, you can also get Takio's katana to use as a melee weapon. So you can see the super Easter egg on BO3 wasn't quite like it was in Black Ops 2. I don't think it was as good. It wasn't a proper super Easter egg, it was just like special items you could unlock after completing them all. So the question would be then, will there be a super Easter egg on Black Ops 4? Of course, we don't know. We really don't know much about the game right now. However, I hope there is, because I think they're really cool and it gives you more of a challenge and incentive to complete all of the Easter eggs and find out the story for yourself. But I do hope it's like the one on Black Ops 2, not like the one on Black Ops 3, which in my opinion was a little bit lame. Of course, we also have two storylines going on, which are in totally separate universes. They have nothing to do with each other, which means there's the potential that we could have two different super Easter eggs. I don't know. That is, of course, if we have any at all. The next question says, who is the girl laughing in Tranzit and who is whispering in the Nacht area? So if you don't know what this person's on about, in Tranzit, in the cornfields, when there are no denizens around, you can actually hear a little girl laughing. Now, we've also heard similar things on other maps. For example, on Kino, you can also hear a little girl crying on there. There are loads of different sound effects of people crying on Verrucht. But as you said, we can also hear a little girl laughing on Tranzit. Now, it's really difficult to hear, so you might have to turn up the volume, but I'm going to play it now. It sounds like there is someone laughing or screaming in the cornfields. It kind of reminds me of that horror film scenario where there's like a child playing in the cornfield before a monster comes to grab them. That's pretty sad. That's kind of what it reminds me of with Tranzit, the fog, the mist, the corn, the monsters. Or I guess in this case they would be the zombies. But then also, as you said, if you go to the Nacht area on Tranzit, hidden deep in the cornfields you can find the Nacht facility. And if you listen around in there, quietly you can hear whispering. So it kind of is like a horror film. It's pretty scary if you were to hear this for the first time. Who this whispering could be, I'm not really sure though. The little girl in the cornfields could be Samantha maybe. That's the only person I could think of. Although that wouldn't really make sense, since at this time she was stuck on the moon in Richtofen's body. So maybe it was a girl that lived here. It really could be anyone, but I do have to admit, it is quite creepy. The next question from Bruno says, hey BOA, I have a question. How long do our characters stay on each map? I mean, the players decide how long he will play, but what does the storyline tell us about it? And you can get this answer from the Canorium, but the characters usually stay on each map for less than a day, although it doesn't tell us for every map. For example, for Shino Numa it says, on October the 21st, Ultimus travelled to the Rising Sun facility to recover Richtofen's diary, and then the next map after that is De Rees, which takes place on October the 28th, which is when Ultimus returned to the factory, which should mean then that Richtofen, Takeo, Nikolai and Dempsey stayed at Shino Numa for a week. They were only there to find a diary. I don't know if it'd take a week to find it. They could have gone somewhere else in between. It doesn't say that on the Canorium though, so it looks like they were there for a week, but on most maps it's usually for a day. Bruce Wayne says, do you think Reznov and Nikolai knew each other, or at least fought together? So of course Reznov and Nikolai were both Russian, but we don't have any evidence that they ever came into contact with each other. However, we do both know that they were in Stalingrad near about the same time. Reznov is involved in our zombie storyline. In Zetsubo no Shima there was a cipher, and when decoded it was a message from Reznov. It was this one, and it said, Comrade, I hope these schematics reach you in time so our scientists can make use of them, for I know the Western Front is on the brink of collapse. These schematics I have stolen from Group 935 will enable us to construct our own wonder weapons, which will help us to turn the tide of the war and give us victory against the German pigs. I fear, however, I will not live to see this. V I would assume is for Victor, so that cipher is from Victor Reznov, where he told us he has stolen Group 935 blueprints and he's given them to the Russians to build their own wonder weapons. And we know these blueprints he stole were for things like the Ray Gun Mark III, the Russian giant robots, and the Russian Mangler. So Reznov stole this information from Group 935 and gave it to the Russians. They created it, and that's why we see this technology in Gorod Karovi. Also in that map, there was a board, which again was signed by Victor Reznov, and it said, Vengeance is mine, which tells us that Reznov was in Gorod Karovi at some point. We don't know if he was there at the same time as when Nikolai's there in his mech suit. Maybe they did come face to face with each other. We don't know. It is possible that it did happen. However, the chronorium doesn't state it, so I would have to say they don't know each other. So anyway guys, that is all I have for you for today's video. As always, hopefully you have enjoyed. If you have, you know what to do. Drop a like rating. Make sure you smash that subscribe button if you want to stay up to date with the latest zombies content on the channel. Leave your questions down below, and of course we'll see you all in the next video. Until then, goodbye.